Okay, got the saw cleared off here, cleaned off, and there's the wood right there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut a new bar for this thing, a longer one. Be right back. And there it is, one bar, 3/4 ply, this little square bar. Definitely longer. Might be an inch or two too long now. So, next step is we're going to mark out where the pivot screw is going to go here and figure out where it's going to go there, and then tape the bar in place and figure out how long it needs to be. Okay, that's where the pivot screw is going to go on the bar, and I can actually go ahead and drill that with the mini drill. Okay, use the mini drill and drilled it all the way through, and that's just a pilot hole basically. Now figure out where it's going to go over here on the body. Okay, looks like the bar should go almost all the way at the bottom end. This blue tape here, the left edge of this blue tape is the center line for the guitar. And so I've got the dot here at the center line, and then the bottom edge, or the left edge of the bar is right there at that mark where the cutout should be, the center of the cutout. So this area in here forms your cutout, and the bar is at 25 degrees to the vertical compared to the center line. So that would put it right about there, and that would put that hole for the body is going to be all the way down here. So I can go ahead and punch that and get a small pilot hole going, and go ahead and tape this thing in position and figure out how long it needs to be. Or actually, even what I can do is go ahead and drill these two and put that screw in and then tape it on, and that would get it even more solidly attached. And then I can figure out how long it needs to be, but then I gotta take it back off. I'll just tape it. Gotta take it back off to cut it, so I'll just tape it. Okay, I taped it on right quick here, and you set it down in position. I'm still gonna have to support it. This tape is not gonna be strong enough. And also I'm charging the phone, so I'm running tethered here. See the wire kind of messes with me. Alright, is my tape tight? My angle more or less correct? Yep, okay. So it's going to sit like this, and well, it doesn't really look too long, actually. It might be good right there. Whatever this is. It's either 22 or 24, I'll bet. They slap a ruler on it. Yeah, it's a 24. So, yeah, all the way from the very, very bottom of this thing, the 24-inch swing bar looks like it's going to work out just fine. So then, it's going to need a block here, and then it's going to have, if you put these two screws as far apart as possible to maximize the strength, then I guess you'd be like here and up here somewhere, and or actually I guess you'd have to be when you're swung this way, so you'd be back here a little bit more, kind of a thing. Screw here, and screw here. So you'd have a hole here for the thumb screw, and a hole here for the thumb screw, and a hole over here for the thumb screw when the bar was over in the strap position, as opposed to leg bar position, strap bar position over here. So yeah, you could do, like, you know, be trick and make a curved piece of wood with 3 holes in it. We're going to do 3 little stands, or maybe a triangular piece of wood with 3 holes in it, or yeah, I was considering making this triangular to kind of like imitate the triangular shape of the entire guitar, but I decided that flat edges was going to be better. So, and if I did it like the old bar, where it was kind of a nice, where it was a right triangle, then when it's in the park position, it's not symmetric. So I decided to go with the square bar. It'll get all rounded and stuff, sanded and such before the end, but yeah, okay, so yeah, square bar, not a triangle, 24-inch length. We've got the mounting point. Just got to decide on what kind of spacer to use. Maybe I'll just do a little block here and 3 little blocks here, kind of a thing. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, you can add more wood to make it look, for aesthetic purposes, basically, trying to make it look cooler. But all it's going to do is add more weight to the guitar, which is, you know, it's all the more wood that the strings have to try to vibrate, so I don't see any point in that. So yeah, I'll just do small blocks, I think. That's what I'll do. So I'll dig up like that piece of plywood over there or something, and cut another piece or something, and cut out a few small blocks. Gonna need 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 blocks. And then, let's see, the trim block sticks through here and the springs will go that way, and there's really nothing back here to interfere, so shouldn't be a problem mounting the blocks. So yeah, I guess that's going to be the next step, is make some little blocks. So let me get to cutting. Okay, one more thing I wanted to check out here. I took a little spacer block like this and I taped it to the bar. So now the bar is actually at the height that it will be at once all the spacer blocks are installed, and it's in the locked down in the seated position. I want to see how much an effect this is going to have on the balance of the guitar front to back, assuming that the tape is strong enough. So yeah, it's actually going to be like that kind of a thing. And yeah, the tape's already starting to fail. Let me try slapping another piece of tape on it. Well, the tape is not really strong enough to hold this thing in order to tell, but from what I can tell, it looks like it's going to be okay. So, I mean, it's not like if you put the thing down this way that it all of a sudden wants to fall over away from you. So I think it's going to be okay. I'm just going to have to, like I said, I'm just going to have to try it and find out. And if it's not okay, then I'll have to, you know, come up with a way to mount the bar lower to the body, or perhaps even mount it to the side of the body or something like that. So I was kind of thinking it would be cool to have a guitar like this where instead of having a single swing bar, you had two swing bars that maybe perhaps even built into the side of the body, where a little piece of the body swung out on either side to give you like the leg strap bar, the leg bar, or the strap bar. But I don't know, that's, you know, just something to play around with. For the moment, I'm working on getting this idea going. So and also, you know, if you do two swinging bars, then you could almost be going back to the V bars as far as that's concerned. And the V bars, yeah, well, it's nice to not have the bar that you're not using there. It's less of a distraction, you might say, even though you really don't notice either of the bars. If you're playing sitting, the strap bar is not really in your way. It's between you and the neck, but it's just between you and the neck. It's not in the way of you and the neck. And when you're playing standing, the leg bar is just hanging down below the guitar, and it's not big or heavy or anything. So, but yeah, it doesn't look like having it this far towards the back of the guitar, or stick out this far out the back, is going to be an issue as far as like the balance of the guitar goes, front to back balance, as opposed to top to bottom balance. And see, the leg bar's on here, and the center of balance is moved down to about the 24th now. Maybe still at the 23rd. Maybe still at the 23rd. So yeah, that's pretty cool that you can put on another 2 feet of wood and still the guitar balance is the same. So yeah, I guess that works out okay then, huh? Alright, so it looks like the spacers are not going to be placing the bar too far back, and I can go ahead and cut some up. And there we go, 4 little cube spacers. Just mark them out and punch them, and then drill them, work this stuff out and punch it, drill it, sand everything, stain everything. I think I'll do an oil finish for this stuff, and then take these little puppies and glue them in place. Dig up some hardware. I'll need to make a thumb screw. Another piece of wood to make a thumb screw. And dig up a screw for here and a screw for here. And that ought to do it. And that would be the basic concept. So, I guess the next step is to drill some holes. Okay, got the little cubes marked for drilling, and got the end of the bar marked for drilling for the strap lock button. And I figured out that I only need 3 cubes, don't need 4 spacers, only 3. One for the pivot screw, one for the leg bar position, and one for the strap bar position. And then for the part position, I can just use this, and that'll work out just fine. So the next step is I'm going to fish up some screws and then use this guy in order to figure out what size to actually drill all these holes. Okay, fished up a couple of screws, one for the thumb screw, one for the pivot screw. As you can see, they're going to go a little bit into the body itself, all the way through the spacer block and into the body itself. But they're not long enough. They don't stick through far enough. It's only, that might be 6 mil, something like that, 3/8 of an inch. So yeah, they don't stick out past the bottom of the bar far enough, or the block, to they won't go all the way through the body. They'll stick into the body, but not all the way through, and that's okay. So it's more or less the perfect length. So yeah, they're fine. I'll squirt one gold now, and I still got to cut a thumb screw, and then I'll drill everything. And the one I'll squirt one gold now, the pivot screw, I'll squirt gold and let it get to drying. And then the thumb screw, I'll drill it, I'll put CA glue in the hole, screw it in, and let it dry, and then I'll come back I'll spray some gold paint and use a little micro brush and paint the end gold. Because see, if you do it the other way, then there's a pretty good chance that the CA glue or the screwdriver is going to mess up your gold paint on your screw, and you'll have to end up touching it up with a micro brush anyway. So I prefer to just paint the screws for the thumb screws after I've made the thumb screw. So alright, let me get to measuring and such. Okay, here's what we got. For the bar screws, the shank, the inner portion of the screw without the threads on it, is 2.2 millimeters in diameter, and the outer diameter of the screw itself, including the threads, is 3.8 millimeters. For the strap lock, it's 2.8 and 3.6. So this has a rather fat shank and rather small teeth or threads on it. And this one has a rather thinner shank and somewhat bigger teeth or threads on it. So for the bar, this hole needs to be at least 3.8 millimeter diameter, and I'm going to be gluing these guys onto the body, and I'm going to want these to actually thread into these. They should just kind of pass through the bar at the two places, but they should thread into these and thread into the body. So these should be right around 2.2 millimeters, or perhaps just ever so slightly larger, but they have to be at least 2.2 millimeters. And this one needs to be at least 3.8 millimeters. And then over here for the strap lock on the end, this one needs to be at least 2.8 millimeters. So, time to fish up some drill bits and get to drilling. Okay, everything's drilled. These guys all got little holes in them now. And that's got a hole. And that's got a hole. So, yep, next thing is some quality time with the sander. I'll be back. Where are we at? Yeah. Let me sand and then I'll show you the results, and then I'll probably do it for this vid. Okay, all sanded, and yeah, I use proper safety equipment. I value my ears. Yeah, everything's all nice and sanded. Everything's been sanded down smooth, got it back down to clean wood, gave all the corners and edges a little bit of a bevel, so everything's all nice and soft. All nice and soft, beveled and rounded. So, yeah. Ready for stain, ready for stain. And right now my hands are really got a lot of vibration fatigue, so yeah, we're at almost 20 minutes. I think that's going to do it for this episode, so to speak. And in the next episode, we'll be staining. So until then, everybody have a good one.